Yo, what's good? It's Been here back from the video answer. I'm going to be dropping a stick breaker tutorial for Madden 26. So I usually post one of these every year because it's always different, but pretty much this video is going to teach you guys how to do every single move in the game. How to stop and go specifically is one that people struggle with. Some of the best jukes, some of the best combinations, jukes into spins, how you do all these different moves. And yeah, I'm going to show you guys what I think is the best. Also, we have new QB running mechanics, specifically in the backfield, so I'll show you guys some of those tips after we go over the halfback ones. So, to start out, we have some basic stuff. I'm going to show the controls, if I'm able to. Where do you go to see the controls? Options, control, no, that's wrong. I thought there was a way to show the controls, but maybe it's in accessibility. I don't know. So that doesn't matter. But yeah, I can just show you. So the first thing you're gonna do is just obviously accelerate. You guys know that the right trigger or R2 is to accelerate. You'll run slower and then you'll run faster. Slower, hold it down, faster. So obviously one thing that the most people will do is just always be holding that right trigger. That's actually not usually the smartest thing to do. One thing that I will usually do, kind of similar to the way a lot of the more patient halfbacks will run in real life, is I will actually not hold the right trigger until I get through the initial hole. Now I don't have a defense for obvious reasons, but I would not hold it until now, and then I hit that second level, and then I can hit it and then start doing my moves and whatnot. So yeah, that's kind of how we would be doing things. And yeah, so right trigger is the first mechanic. Now we did some juking, I'm sure, and that's gonna be our right stick. So the right stick is going to come in handy. And that's gonna be where you do kind of everything. We have juke right, which is just gonna be flick your right stick to the right, juke left, flick your right stick to the left. We have back juke, which is going to be down on the right stick, and then truck is going to be up on the right stick. So we'll start out with our side-to-side jukes, and with Saquon Barkley here, he gets a few different ones. So obviously holding the right trigger is going to give you this animation. If you let go of the right trigger, you get this animation, which is always kind of a quicker cut. Honestly good if you're kind of down the field. Let's say you get a big pass or you get a big run, you break through the secondary. You have that strong safety maybe coming from the other side or the corner. I like using the non-hold right trigger juke in those types of situations. And then you also have the right and left trigger juke, which is going to look similar to this one. Let me make sure my stamina is off so we can run a little bit longer. But yeah, so you have kind of three different jukes. The right and left trigger one does look similar to just the right one, so just keep that in mind. But okay, so here's the controls. So yeah, juke, obviously with that right stick, you have the dead leg, which is kind of like your back juke, and then stiff arm is A, spin is B, hurdle, we have slide, give yourself up, and then dive, which are the different quarterback mechanics that we'll talk about when we start running with Hurts. So I guess I didn't actually make sure my stamina was off, but I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, so okay, so yeah, I'll show the jukes just one more time here. Again, I usually like the one where you just hold the right trigger and you get kind of that animation, but the right and left trigger one is decent as well. And again, if you're not holding anything, you get kind of that weird quick cut. So how do you sequence it? How would you sequence it? And I may even try, and different players also get different juke animations. Like if I use Hurts here, you see he gets this kind of animation, which honestly sometimes can be a little bit better. So just keep that in mind, but his spin is not great in my opinion. Sometimes it can be too slow. You saw how he got it fast the first time, but now it's usually pretty slow. But you can kind of get that quick animation. That's what we'll show with Saquon. It's kind of the jukes and the spins. So let's talk about the spins here. Now with spins, if you tap B, you get kind of this quick spin animation. If you hold the right trigger in B, you get kind of this almost a little bit slower. But this one is good in the open field. Now obviously the way you juke and the way you spin does depend on where you hold the left stick. So if I hold the left stick to the right, he spins to the right, which would be counterclockwise. If I hold my left stick to the left, he's going to spin clockwise, which would be kind of breaking open to the left. So it usually just depends on where you're going, but like if I'm going here, I'm going to want to spin back right, so I'm going to hold my left stick to the right. If I want to spin back left, hold the left stick to the left, and then this is, again, the one I'm doing is I'm holding the right trigger. If you don't, this one, you can't really change directions too much, so I like that one, that quicker one, and again, that quicker one is where you don't hold the right trigger or the left trigger. I like that quicker one after the juke, so kind of sequencing it. And again, the right and left trigger one, I think is pretty much the same. So no real changes of that. If you want to give yourself up, again, you can just tap X, and that works for QBs and your running backs. So let's talk about sequencing. How would I want to sequence it? Usually I do juke into spin. So if I juke left, I would want to spin opposite. Now, sometimes it can be a little tricky to kind of sequence them effectively. He's not doing it great for me right now. Let's try it again. I did it really good with Bijan. I don't know why Saquon is struggling, but yeah, you kind of juke and then spin. So kind of like that. It's a little bit better. I think it's just because his juke animation takes longer, but juke and then you can spin. So again, you're just kind of combining them. Make sure you do. Obviously, when I have no stamina, he's not really able to do it, but and again, you won't be able to like spam these moves the way I'm doing it. You most be able to do like a juke and spin or just one juke, because if you sit there spamming it, you're going to run out of stamina, and then you're probably going to get hit sticked, and then you're probably going to fumble. So just be aware of that. But yeah, so I would juke like left, for example, and then I would actually try to spin the opposite way, kind of like that. So again, I could juke, boom. You could even do like the quick juke like that, spin. Like that would be good. So kind of some good examples. Again, I would practice this even myself. I don't get it perfect every time. I'll show it one more time and then we'll talk about like some other things. But again, I would juke. Again, I like the right trigger juke, so I would juke this way and then kind of spin the opposite way. So juke. And sometimes like almost won't even let you when you run out of stamina. But almost helps to kind of wait a little bit. Don't immediately juke and spin. You want to juke, kind of let him finish it, and then spin to the other side, and that's how you create the harsh angle. He's going to go hard left after you juke that way. And again, you could like juke out a defender, another one comes, then you could actually spin him out. So you can kind of do that and work well. Now, the other mechanics, again, is like the dead leg, which is kind of like slowing up. Now, the animations are kind of slow for this, so you would never really use it. I'm not going to tell you guys to ever use it. But again, that juke spin combo, very effective. So the dead leg is down on the right stick. If you want to use it, you can. The other thing is the truck. So that would just be up on the right analog stick. If you see a corner trying to go low on you or whatever, just go ahead and run him over with that right stick. That'll come in handy when we talk about the quarterback mechanics in the backfield specifically. But yeah, not much else. But let's talk about the stop and go. So the stop and go is going to be a key mechanic, and it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to explain, but I want you guys to stick with me here. And what we're going to do is you're going to be holding the right trigger, and you're going to be going upfield. So you're obviously going to be holding that left stick up, and then you're going to slowly release the left stick down. And I don't know if I'm able to hold it, but you're going to release the left stick down, kind of like this, just kind of let it go of it. And then you're going to let go of the right trigger kind of at the same time. So that's going to be kind of the basics of it. You'll see how it works. But again, I'm holding the right trigger up, or I'm holding the right trigger and then the left stick up, and then I just kind of release him. Now, the quicker you release it, the quicker he's going to stop. Again, the reason I don't pull back is because then he's going to start running the wrong direction. Like, if you pull it back manually with your thumb, he will usually do it unless you have like kind of crazy touch. And I have like precision rings and control freaks, so I have like a less harsh drop off too, which does help. I do recommend getting those if you guys don't have them. I mainly use them for other games, but honestly, I liked when I use them in Madden, so no issues there. So I do recommend you guys get those if you enjoy them, but it's also good for like shooter games, so it doesn't really matter. But again, the quicker you do let go, the quicker he's going to stop. Like there you can see. Then immediately you're going to kind of start again, and you can of course just stop as long as you want. It does kind of depend on how aggressively he's taking the angle. So this is, again, really good in the open field. He's kind of almost running side by side at an angle to cut you off. Kind of stop, let him go the other direction. So it's stop, go the other direction. Again, you can kind of stop, and then you can, of course, still sequence it. So I'm going to try and show like some of the faster, and I may mess up in this, of course, but I'm going to try and show like some of the faster stuff. And of course, with Hertz here, we could do it too. Just kind of stopping. Again, you pull it back too much, it does happen, but let's get back to Saquon. For the most part, again, I would practice this, go in practice mode, go offense only, but again, boom, kind of stop like that, stop like that, stop like that. And again, obviously the way it kind of is, you're not going to go back to your top speed immediately, kind of like you did in those earlier years of the game, because there is like an acceleration factor. But for the most part, it's pretty clean in at least avoiding that defender. And again, I would like recommend practice this to you guys. You see, I'm kind of getting it quicker, but you do want to practice the touch because you pull it back just a little bit too much and it's not as clean. Just keep that in mind. Now, let's talk about some of the quarterback mechanics as far as like running behind the line of scrimmage, because there are some new stuff. Now, I would never ever juke, or I guess you have stiff arm too. So stiff arm is just going to be tapping A. Again, we don't have a defense, but if someone's running at you, you can tap A and you could stiff arm them to the ground. Love, again, with my tight end in corners, love doing that. Running back in corners, or even you could test their linebackers or their safeties. If they have safeties at linebacker, you can use that. So again, the way you do that is just by tapping A. Now, let's talk about the quarterback mechanics with Hertz here. So the main one that is new is you can actually flick the right stick and juke in the backfield. Of course, you can't spin because B would be an icon to throw the football. But you can juke because the right stick doesn't playmaker anymore. You do have to be holding the left trigger if you want to playmaker a wide receiver or a tight end or a running back. So we can actually juke, and this is obviously pretty good, but you can like honestly juke like behind the line of scrimmage. Now Hertz's juke is actually pretty nice. Like he gets this kind of quick animation. So where it's really good that I've seen is even if there is like a QB spy and you're kind of scrambling out right, you can juke back in. So let's pretend, oh crap, wrong play. Let's pretend we have like a QB spy and maybe it's not the fastest guy on planet Earth and he is kind of, let's say he's chasing us to the right. I scramble out, he's kind of chases. I'd run like this, he's chasing me, boom, can juke. Then you can actually avoid him. And what you can also do is if you're further back, you can juke and then you can still throw the football, which is kind of broken. So I recommend you guys like practice this. You can like juke. Oh, I see him downfield. Obviously you need throw on the run and some crazy throw power to make some of the throws. It would more so help if you had like just a drag or an angle route or something in the middle of the field. You could kind of juke, hit him. It's good to bait the user because again, a lot of times what you see is like the user may try and blitz you. So you could like juke and then still throw it to like be on the sideline here. So that's a good way to get creative. Another tip, if you don't want to juke and you actually just want to run faster, you can actually truck. So you can, of course, truck and like dead leg. And the way you do that is just flick the right stick up and now he like runs faster. It's like a weird speed glitch in the game. Who knows if that will get patched? It probably will, depending on the time of when you guys are watching this video. But yeah, you can usually truck and he's going to run a lot faster than he normally does. And you can, of course, still juke and pass. But for whatever reason, you do want to truck. Even on like kind of like if I'm designed QB running it, I think it helps with that too. So again, just truck, and then I can juke, fire it. You could like juke and still stop. You don't have to, of course, throw it on the move. But that's just a good tip for you guys. So if you guys enjoyed this video, you want more tip style videos like this, I'll probably do a quick adjustment one because I usually do one of those every year and there's a lot of new adjustments. So hit that like, subscribe to the channel down below and let me know what you guys want to see next. And peace. I'm out of here.